Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Tyler. Today I wanted to bring you a video entitled INTP Potential, Why SI Child is Holding You Back. So the problem with INTPs is we don't like to get out of our comfort zone very much. We just like to kind of stay in the boundaries. We love just hanging out at our house or wherever we live and just kind of being lost in our thoughts. And the reason for that is because of our SI child. So today we'll get into what exactly SI is, why it can hold INTPs back from reaching their full potential, and some things you can do as an INTP to not let this happen. So let's get into it. So if you're an INTP watching this, you probably think you got screwed over in life. You probably think, well, being an INTP is not easy. I wish I was a different MBTI type or something along those lines. I know this is how I used to feel. But after really getting into MBTI and studying the cognitive functions, I now believe that INTPs are actually very lucky. And the reason that we are lucky is because we have TI Hero. Having TI Hero effectively gives you a way to hack your own life. And I know that might sound a little funny, but it's actually true. TI is all about solving the most complex logical problems. Any problem that you throw out there into the world that needs solving, you as an INTP are actually the most well equipped to solve that problem. And that's not only because of our TI Hero, it also has to do with our NE parent. Our NE parent is going to look at all the different ways that you can solve this problem. Is there a better way? Is this a better way? So you should really be confident in yourself because nobody can touch you when it comes to problem solving, period. But the thing is, guys, not only can we solve the world's problems, but we can also solve our own personal problems. If we can identify a problem area in our life, you can easily find a solution. And this can be anything. This could be financial problems. This can be relationship problems. Maybe this is something you don't like about yourself, the way you act. Maybe you feel like you don't get enough respect at work or in your relationships. Through your own research, through your own thinking, you can find the solutions to these problems and just make your life better. If you are sitting there as an INTP with a problem or multiple problems in your life, thinking there is no way you're going to figure out how to solve it, you're just wrong. If you can't solve it, nobody can solve it. So knowing this should give you a little bit of confidence. It should give you a little bit of a reason to respect yourself, and you should go out into the world knowing that anything you come across, you can get through it, and you can get through it honestly pretty easily. And again, I just want to drive home the point that INTPs are lucky. INTPs are blessed because of this TI Hero. Other MBTI types, they will come across these complex problems of life and have no idea what to do. They won't know even where to start. So many times they'll just either ignore the problem or they'll go about it the wrong way just because they're not equipped like we are. As INTPs studying MBTI, we can really understand why we do the things we do and why we are the way we are. We can look and see, well, the reason I'm not very good in social situations, the reason why I'm not very good at understanding people's emotions sometimes is because I have FE inferior. The reason that I don't like loud conflict or fist fights is because of SE trickster. We can kind of see what cognitive functions are holding us back or not serving our purpose, and we can decide to fix that, or we can decide to work on our weak points a little bit more. And in the case of this particular video, we're going to talk about SI child and why this can become a big problem for us. Okay, SI, introverted sensing. This is the INTP's child function. This is the third cognitive function in our stack. So what is SI exactly? In my last video, I talked about SE. SE is very in your face. SE is in the moment. And SI is kind of the opposite in that manner. SI is concerned with the past, with memory. When you blow a tire driving down the street, you pull off to the side of the road, you fix it, and you go on. So next time that you do that, you're going to remember what you did. You're going to remember if it worked well or if it didn't work so well. And if it didn't work well, you're going to try a different way of changing your tire. For SI dominance, this would be the ISFJ, this would be the ISTJ. Following traditions is very important. These are going to be the people making Thanksgiving dinner every year, getting the family all together. This is going to be the person making sure the house is clean so everybody has a good experience. The SI dominant is going to take care of the day-to-day things. They're going to want to change the baby's diaper, want to get the kids ready for school. SI is focused on the past, what society has done through the years. These SI dominants are going to be more interested in following the existing standards, traditions, than making their own. SI likes to take in good experiences, especially for SI child, which we have, and also INFPs. We really like to watch that good movie. We like to see that beautiful woman. Instead of being concerned about giving this experience, we're more interested in getting it, if that makes sense. Just like SE is concerned with danger, SI is concerned with comfort. They want to be inside the boundaries. They don't want to be in a situation where they don't know anybody there. They don't know what's going on. Getting out of their comfort zone is hard. And this right here is the big problem with INTPs. We do not like to get out of our comfort zone. We love just to sit on our couch or sit in the chair, playing video games or just getting lost in our thoughts. Many times we like to take naps throughout the day just because we like to be comfy. And don't get me wrong, guys, there's nothing wrong with doing these things sometimes, but you have to quit doing it all the time. And we'll talk about on the next slide here, getting into that rut that you just can't seem to get out of. If you get stuck in the SI comfort, you're not going to be able to improve yourself. You're not going to be able to do that really fun thing that you want to do because it's not going to be comfortable when you do that. You just want to stay in your comfort zone, and this is where you can really get into a problem. Now, our SI child is not completely worthless if we use it correctly. This is just really another tool in our arsenal when it comes to solving problems. If you've tried to solve a problem in the past and it didn't work out, you're going to not do that again. If you solved a particular problem and it did work out, you're going to remember how you did that, and you're going to be able to repeat that every time until it doesn't work anymore. You can also recall lessons a little bit easier from your childhood or maybe school, and it can really help you form a healthy worldview, which is something I believe that INTPs truly do need. Okay, so the TI-SI loop of death. This is something that you may have heard of if you study MBTI, especially INTP MBTI. This TI-SI loop of death. This is not something that is easy to get out of. INTPs can stay stuck in this for years. In very extreme cases, their entire life. This is waking up every morning, going to the same job that you've had for years that you don't particularly enjoy. Coming home from work, eating the same 4 or 5 things you always eat, watching the same television show, playing video games every day when you come home. The weekend comes around and you just do the same thing. You stay home, you don't do anything important, you don't do anything exciting. It's not a place you want to be. And if you get stuck in this loop of death for a long period of time, your life is not going to be improving. You're going to feel very stuck, and you're not going to live up to your potential, which is really what this video is about. Getting out of these sort of things to reach your full potential and figure out the problems of your life and solve them. So the TI-SI loop. So TI and SI are the INTP's top 2 introverted functions. These are going to be the 2 functions that we are going to be using. When the INTP becomes fully tuned in to these introverted functions, you can really become stagnant. Nothing's going to get done, and then later on you're probably going to feel bad that nothing got done today. I was stuck in this rut for years of my life. Any day that I had off of work, where all I had pretty much was free time, I would just sit in my chair, have the TV on in the background, scrolling Facebook, looking up eBay, studying random things that didn't have anything to do with anything. My house would be a mess. My laundry would need done. I would need to shave, but I just couldn't find the time to do it because I was stuck in this TI-SI loop of death. Days, weeks, months, years went by doing this. I felt like I wasn't becoming the man that I really wanted to become, that deep down I knew I could become. My friends, my family, I wouldn't reach out to them. I wouldn't talk to them. If they would call me on the phone, I would ignore it because I didn't want to get out of this loop. I wanted to stay in my comfort zone. I didn't want to do anything. And finally, I realized that this is not going to work for me. If I keep doing this, I'm going to wake up being an elderly man and look back on my life and being like, what did I do? I didn't do anything. It was not a good place to be, and it's a place that I never want to go back to again. But here again, I just want to say that as long as you use it in moderation, this is fine if you have a very serious problem that you need to deal with. If you've been working your butt off for days, for weeks, you can have days like this where you just chill out, and that's fine. The problem is when you do it every single day and you want to stop doing it but you can't. That's when you're really going to have a problem. And like I already talked about a little bit, when you're stuck in this TISI loop of death, you're not going to have any motivation to better yourself or your future. And that's really a mindset that I have adopted, is that every day I want to get a little better than I was yesterday. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes I do still have days where I just kind of hang out and don't do much, but I try to limit those days as much as possible. But basically, when you're in this loop, your NE is being totally ignored. You have these problems, but you're not really thinking of ways to get out of them or ways to solve it. But as an INTP, you can use your TI hero, say, this SI is not helping me. This is not making me move towards a future that I want. Your TI can overrule your SI comfort, your need for comfort, and it can use NE to figure out ways to get out of this. But you really have to make a conscious decision that this is an important thing to do to get out of this rut you're in. If your TI is not convinced that it's a problem, you're not going to solve it. And if your thinking is that this TISI loop is okay for me, I'm comfy every day, I'm doing okay, I don't care, then that's fine, that's up to you. But I would highly doubt that that's the truth if you're an INTP, because I think deep down you know that you have a lot of potential, you want to reach that potential, and you're going to make sacrifices to get there. I've already covered this quite a bit, so top concern with this TISI loop of death is being comfy while your mind wanders. And when you get stuck in this loop for a long time, you can feel isolated and worthless. You can see your messy house and feel like life is out of control. You can see all the mail stacking up that you haven't checked and feel like you are missing something important. It's really going to be in your best interest to use your TI hero to get yourself out of this loop of death. Alright, that brings me to my final topic of the day, using your TI and your NE to break free from this loop of death. I talked about this on the last slide. You have to really ask yourself, does the TI-SI loop really benefit you or help you live out your purpose? And this is really just a yes or no answer. If your answer is yes, this does help me. I'm always comfortable. I really enjoy my life. I like where I'm at right now. That's fine. I wish I was more like you. But with all the facts that you have, all the evidence that you have gathered, if your TI is convinced that this does not help you, if this TI-SI loop of death is not in your best interest, you can use your TI and your NE to find ways out. And like I said before, this is the way you can hack your life. You can see problems in yourself and you can figure out the solution and you can make your own personal life better. And honestly, guys, it's really not that hard. It's really easy. All you have to do is slowly start to do the uncomfortable thing. Now, I'm not saying go travel to a country you've never been to before by yourself. I'm not saying go up to the girl that you had a crush on in high school and tell her you love her and ask her to marry you. I'm not talking crazy things like that. This is going to be waking up in the morning and deciding to do 5 push-ups before you do anything else. You could go on a walk around your house 5 times just to get your heart rate elevated a little bit in the morning, just working out. Talking to strangers. Normally, INTPs hate talking to strangers. We feel like we're socially awkward and we don't know what to say half the time. But just try. It's going to be hard in the beginning, but if you start out just saying, hi, how are you? You talk to that person a little bit. Next day you say, hey, what's up? You're just making a conscious effort to improve upon your weaknesses. And one of your weaknesses as an INTP is doing the uncomfortable thing. That's not going to be easy for you, but just like any muscle, with practice, with working out, it gets better over time. Hold eye contact longer than usual. This is another thing that INTPs struggle with. We have a hard time looking people in the eye. But just go out one day and maybe go to the mall. Maybe you have some clothes that you need to get. And usually you just go online and buy it because you don't like to go out anywhere. But today you're going to make a conscious effort to go out and improve your eye contact while buying your clothes. And when you start off with people that's not very intimidating, maybe some older people, something like that, you may find over time it's easier to look that attractive person in the eye, to hold eye contact and talk to them giving off that confident vibe. Just a little bit every day, a little bit every day. Make it a habit to do these things, and it will get easier over time. And also, can you see why this would be beneficial? Working out, let's say you start off doing 5 push-ups every morning. 4 or 5 days later, you're up to doing 10 push-ups, and now you're in better physical shape. And it's not only about the better physical shape, it's about feeling accomplished, feeling like I woke up this morning, I did a little workout. I got out of my comfort zone to do that. And just being proud of yourself for your accomplishment. Talking to strangers, we're not very good at social skills. If you start talking to people, you may find that your social skills get better. You can actually use your SI in this case, saying, well, I said this joke that time, everybody laughed. I said this other joke, nobody even said a word. I'm going to remember that. I'm going to remember that joke that I told that worked. I'm going to start telling it to everybody. Holding eye contact for longer. This is going to build your confidence. You're going to go out into the world saying, I can look people in the eye, I can talk to them. I am more sure of myself now. You just start with these little things, you build up, do harder things over time, and what you may find is that you were uncomfortable for no reason. You're actually not that bad at these things once you start working on them. And here's another very important point is just be okay with letting yourself fail. Maybe let's say one day you wake up and you say you're going to go to the gym. You just got a gym membership. You're all ready to go and you just can't go. You just can't do it. That's okay. That's going to happen sometimes. Like I said, this is not easy. Maybe you went out to the mall that first time and held eye contact with people and you felt great afterwards. You felt like, this wasn't that hard. Next time you go out to do it, you're getting ready to go out the door and you just can't do it. You're not comfortable enough to do that. It's okay to fail. Don't be hard on yourself for letting yourself down 1 or 2 times. What you need to do in that case is realize that this is just a one-time thing and you're going to come back tomorrow better and you're going to be ready to do that thing. What you don't want to get into a habit of doing, though, is giving into that comfortness. If you give into the comfort today, that's fine. Even if you give into it tomorrow, that's fine too. But you cannot make a habit of that. If you start doing that, all your hard work is going to just be for naught. Wake up every single day, see it as a new day, see what you can do. Because over time, these small habits are going to lead to big changes. You started off doing 5 push-ups every morning. Now you're doing 30 push-ups and you're running every day. You felt so awkward in the beginning saying, hi, how are you? But now you go up to complete strangers and it's easy. You can talk to them for minutes, hours. Every day you need to get a little better. And if you don't get better, just chalk it up as a loss, wake up tomorrow and get it done. This is my personal tip. This is something that I started doing. I made sure to clean my house every day. Before, my house would be a wreck, the laundry would need done, the dishes would pile up. I felt like I wasn't even in control of my life. I couldn't even clean up my own area. What is wrong with me? So I made a conscious decision one day to clean my house and to make sure to clean it every day. And I'll be honest, guys, there was days I failed. There was 2 or 3 days sometimes where I failed. But in the beginning, I had motivation. In the beginning, I did it for 5 or 6 days in a row, where it almost became a habit. And then one day when I didn't do it, I woke up the next morning and said, consciously, I'm going to do this for my own sake. Now, I just clean the house every day and I don't even hardly think about it. I don't let the dishes pile up. I don't let the laundry get out of hand. And I feel so much more in control of my life because my surroundings are clean. I feel like I can clearly think my thoughts. My life has more clarity. And it just really helped me. And all it started was, at the very beginning, I said I'm going to clean my house. I cleaned it, I failed. I consciously made a decision to stop that failure and to start cleaning it again. Now I'm at a point where my house is always clean. I don't even care. It's almost second nature for me to do it. Start doing some of these things, and you may find that you feel better about yourself, you respect yourself more, and you're just overall a better person, and you're on your path to where you want to be. Well, that's all I have for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful. If you did feel like it was helpful, please give me a thumbs up. That does help the YouTube algorithm that even as an INTP, none of us can figure out. Also, if you want to see more videos like this is only my 3rd video. Please subscribe to the channel. I have many different ideas that I want to cover, so just make sure to stick around for those. Also, please comment below, do you have any other ways to break this TI-SI loop of death besides just doing the uncomfortable thing? Is there something that you've done in the past that worked? I would love to hear from you guys. Also, is there any other videos you guys would like to see? Like I said, I do have many ideas, but it's always nice to hear from you guys. What would you like to hear more about? What are you interested in? So if you have some ideas, please leave them below. I would appreciate that. And with all that being said, I hope you guys have a nice day, and thanks again for watching.